Well, that was a little bit of a chore to get all that off. There was so much plastic on there. But what I got from Japan, my order, was the dual aqua oil. So this is going to be totally new for me to play around with. They have quite a few colors in here. It's like their larger starter kit. And these products were so much cheaper ordering from Japan straight. And they have a fold out of all their colors. It's beautiful. It's always nice to have that as a reference. And then I got these little cake colors, and I thought they would be fun. They're supposed to be the opaque ones, and there's just, I think, 12 colors in here. Yeah, 12. And they kind of slipped around, but none of them are broke. I will put them back in their little spots. But those look quite pretty, and those will be totally fun. It's kind of weird because this is metal on the top, sorry for the glare, and it's plastic on the bottom on this. So kind of unusual. That's going to be interesting to look at. Then we got the new 24 granulating colors. So excited to have this. Their little brochure. Doesn't have much to it. And all of their colors. And these we will definitely go ahead and swatch out today. And go over all the colors and which pigments are in there. And then I got an empty palette to do the half pans and put them all in. I have another one of these palettes for the regular Holbein colors, or for my regular Holbein colors, and I love this palette. It is so sturdy, and it's got the magnetic on the bottom and everything, so they just stay so much in place. It's really sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead off camera and go ahead and get those into pans. And then we will, sorry for the glare, and then we will swatch them out and see how they look and go from there. Just getting all these magnets on so they will be all set, and then I will go through and I will label everything and get them filled up. Lots of work ahead. I'm going ahead and labeling everything with the name, and I even put all the pigments on it. And let's see how these pour out. They're such little tubes, teeny tiny. And they pour out absolutely beautiful. So I'll get going on this. I went ahead and skipped ahead, and they all poured beautifully. There were two, this pink, cherry blossom pink, and jade vine blue, that had some air bubbles in the tube, but they all poured perfectly. Even with that, they just kind of burped a little bit. And we'll see how these dry down, get them into the thing, and start swatching them up. And it's time for our swatching. So now, if I can pronounce some of the names, they came up with some creative names for these. This is Pampas Grassy Yellow, and that'll be our first one. PR233, PY43, and then it had a little 83. So I'm not sure if that's a PY or if they just had extra numbers on there. There's a few like that, so I thought I would just add it just like that. And this is Saunders Waterford all cotton paper. And I am using lots of water so we can see if they do separate or anything happens with it. Uniclase Red. BB15, or I'm sorry, BB17, and then a 15, PY110, and PR122. And these are all going to be mouthfuls of mixes here. This is so pretty though, this one. And I will give you a close-up view once they're dry. This one is definitely separating into oranges and reds. Now we have Flamingo Orange, PR233, and PG73. Cherry Blossom Pink, PR233, PB73, and PW6. I've had a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little hazy, I'm sorry about that. This one does have a tiny bit of opacity to it. It's a really, really pretty color. And you are getting a total glare. We will check out these when they're dry, but hopefully I can maybe put... Trumpet Vine Red, PY159, PR177. And I'm taking these, my paints aren't not completely dry yet. It's been a few days. I tried to let them sit, but they still are dentable. They're not completely hard. This one's really interesting too. It has like almost like a peach undertone to it. Really pretty. I'm trying so hard for you not to get a glare, and I just seem to be getting a glare. Let me see. I wonder. Ooh, let's try that. Hopefully that angle's a little better. So if you see them travel downwards a little bit, you know why? Because I lifted the paper up a little bit, or the book. And this is Barks Parrot Pink. And we are at PY159, PR122, and BB10. And this one is very, very bright in person. It does have a fluorescent feel to it. And it's kind of separating into like a pink and a orange, I want to say. Really interesting color. Ocean Blue, PY159 and PB15. All these colors are so vibrant. Usually the granulators, they tend to be a little more subdued. And this one is totally separating into a blue and a green. And let's just put a drop of water in there. See if we get a full. This is Peafall Green, PY159, PR232, PG7, and PB15. And this one's separating as well into a green and like a muted earthy yellow look. I know those aren't the pigments, but that's my descriptive, and hopefully that helps if you are interested in the paint or not. Next we have Wonder Forest Green, PY43 and PG50. Uh-oh, somebody's not happy in my background. I don't know if you can hear him. It's one of the grandbabies. I'm not sure if the camera turned on or not for the Mimosa Yellow. That one was right here, and it is separating into kind of a drabby blue and a very bright yellow. And then we go into Japanese Bush Walber Green. These are really a mouthful, I'll tell you. And PY42, 43, and PG17. And this looks very much like, I wouldn't say a sap, more like an olive. Full Moon Yellow, PY159, 42, and PBK8. And of course they re-wet like a dream. No issues there. They feel like a normal Holbein watercolor would feel. And this is kind of a flat, muted kind of green. Kind of a browny green, even though they call it a yellow. Daybreak Orange, PG50, PO73, and PR254. And this does not look orange to me at all. It looks very mauve-y or maroon or gorgeous color though. Gets very dark. Twilight Purple, PV47, PR233, PO13. And this one also still feels kind of in a more pinky family there than a purpley, but it is on the cooler side. Everything keeps running to the bottom because I'm trying to keep the glare off, but we will look at them dry anyway. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. Earthshire Violet, PB29, PR 177, and 122. This one's really dark. Holbein hasn't come out with new colors in quite some time, so this is actually quite exciting. Clematis Violet, PY 159, PB 29, and PV 23. This feels very similar to the one next to it, except it's lighter. Doesn't quite have the depth. It's a tiny bit different, but I really don't think you'd need both of those. Nightfall Indigo, PG 50, PBV 7, 15, PB 50. I'm going to lose my breath on all these names and numbers. This one seems to be separating though. It seems to have some orange separating out from it. That makes it very different from that one. So I was wrong, they are very different. Jade Vine Blue, PV 47, PG 7, PB 15, and PW 6. Pretty color. And now we have Rainy Night Moon Black. PB 29, PR 101. And hopefully the glare's not too bad. The paints were just running a little too much, so I lowered it back down a little bit. It's hard, and then without the light, everything looks so drab, so I want you to be able to see the colors as well. Let's see if that one separates into something. Moonlit Night Blue, PB 29 and PBK 5. This is very much like the color of like a Payne's gray. Shoe Bill Blue Gray, PB 71, 29, PBK 11. And this one does not have a lot of gusto to it. I almost gave you the wrong color. I almost dipped it in the wrong color. Yeah, it's just very soft color. Here it's a little bit deeper with a little bit more paint. Ichnap's Green Gray. Ichnap's, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. PB 29, PG 17. That is a very dark, dark green. Hazy Moon Yellow, PY 159, PBK 6, and PB 15. And this one is really, really rich. This one doesn't look as granulating as a lot of the other ones. Eurochan Gray, or J Rose Gray. And this is PB 29, PG 18, and PO 72. It's really pretty. All right, let's see what those look like when they come up dry. And here they are all dry. Let's get a closer look. There are some absolutely beautiful colors. Hopefully my descriptives were good for them. They are not completely dry in these pans yet, but they are drying really, really nice. You can see my camera up there in the reflection because the magnetic bottom on these, which is kind of really cool, the way Holbein does that. And the full 24 colors. I don't think someone needs all 24. I'm sure you could pick and choose a few out of those. And the oils and the cake colors, I think we will save for a whole nother video, because I think that will give them their due respect. I think we spent all our time on the new granulating colors, but I was so excited when Holbein came out with these, since they haven't come out with any new colors in quite some time. I really appreciate you sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.